All right. So conversions. Yes. Y'all are learning the train tracks, but we're not doing train tracks. We are multiplying and dividing. That's all you're doing. Okay? A car went 44 feet through an intersection in only a half a second. How many miles per hour did that take? Okay? So what you first need to realize is what is given to you. Well, I'm given feet in second. Second, you need to realize is what is your ending result. Well, my ending result needs to be in miles and hours. Okay? So I want to go from here to there. The way I like to work it, which I think makes it a little easier, is if you work it by trying to change your numerator and then trying to change your denominator. Do not do them at the same time. Okay? So first thing is I want to know how can I go from feet to miles. Well, how many feet are in a mile?
5,000.
Oh, look. It's right there at the top for us. So in 1 mile, there's 5,280 feet. Notice that I put feet on the denominator because I want to cancel out those units. In order to mathematically cancel something out, it has to be in the numerator and in the denominator. Cool? All right, so I have miles. Is that what I needed? So I'm done with the numerator. Now I'm going to move to the denominator. On the denominator, I want to go from seconds to hours. How can I go from seconds to hours? Okay, there are 60 seconds in what? In 1 minute. So there are 60 seconds in 1 minute. All right, so now I've canceled out seconds. All right, now how can I go from minutes to hours? What's the relationship? So there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Now I cancel out my minutes. Are my measurements that are left standing the measurements I needed? Yes, my units are miles and hours. At this point, all you're going to do is multiply straight across. You multiply from left to right. You multiply your numerator, multiply your denominator. Okay, so I'm going to do 44 times 1 times 60 times 60. So I go to my calculator, 44 times 1 times 60 times 60. I know it isn't necessary for me to put 1, but I'm just putting it in there so that you can see I multiplied every number. So my numerator is 158,400. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply my denominator. So 0.5 times 5,200. Yes. Okay? So my denominator is 2,640. Okay? This comes down to just being a fraction. A fraction is just a division problem. I don't want to know how many 2,640 hours it is. I just want to know for 1 hour. So all I have to do is divide. So I'm going to arrow up my numerator divided by my denominator, and I get what? 60. So therefore, this car was going 60 miles per hour. Okay? So this car was going 60 miles per hour. All right? So let's recap what we did. We identified our starting point and our ending point, our starting units and our ending units. We canceled out our numerator first, and then we canceled out our denominator second. All right, you're going to do number 2. Number 2 says, in football, Drew runs a 40-yard dash in 5 1/10 of a second. Describe this rate in miles per hour. So how fast is he going? Yes, so my starting point is at what?
40 yards. 4.1 seconds.
All right, Scotty Dawson.
I'm leaving right now.
All right. Okay, so I either could have did 1 yard to 3 feet, or I could have did
3 feet to 1 yard now.
Or I could have did straight into yards into miles. Because 1 mile is 1,700 and something. 60. But we can do what we know. So we're going from yards to feet. So 1 yard we know is 3 feet.
Then you go from feet to miles.
And then now I can go from feet to miles, cancel out my feet, and now I'm in my miles. So I'm good with my numerator, right? All right, on to the denominator. Okay, I'm going to cut short here and put 3,600 seconds is 1 hour.
Okay.
What that means is if I counted 3,600 Mississippis, that equals 1 hour.
Oh my god, that's a lot of time.
Okay? That way I can just go ahead, eliminate that. And now am I down to hours and miles?
Yes.
So what's the last step?
Multiply and divide.
I multiply and I divide. So I'm going to do 40.
I thought I was doing it wrong. I
No.
thought if I put that, it was going to be wrong.
So there's my numerator. My denominator is 5.1 times 5280. Take the two numbers. And I get 16.
Yeah.
So 16 and 400 miles per hour.
When we write down the action.
So that what this is saying is that if this human being who runs a 5.1 and a 40, if they could keep up that pace, that speed that they're going, that short distance speed, that means that in 1 hour they can do almost 16 miles. But that's a lot of speed. That's a kind of a hard rate to keep going. Unless you're like Superman.
That's slow though. 5.1 seconds.
Okay?
Maybe show me a different way to do it. Same answer, but different number.
There's more than one way to do the problem. If you're doing it with the train tracks, is that what you're doing, Megan?
Huh?
How are you doing, Megan?
I just went ahead and went straight to yards without doing the feet, but I got the same answer.
That's what I said that a second ago. I said you can if you knew how many yards were in a mile, you could just go straight into the 1,000 some yards. So if you can eliminate this step, that's fine. All right, 3. So now we have a leaky faucet in the kitchen. Remember earlier we talked about the gallon man? All right, here's our gallon man being put to use. Excuse me. A leaky faucet in our kitchen wastes 1 cup of water every 10 minutes. When a problem says A, that stands for what number?
1.
So 1 cup
Over 10 minutes.
over 10 minutos. Okay? So 1 cup every 10 minutes, and I want to know how many what? So I want to know by the end of the day, how many gallons of water have I used? All right, so cups. How can I go from cups to gallons?
1 quart over 4 cups.
There's
Huh?
16 cups.
1 gallon equals 16
Okay,
cups.
1 gallon equals 16 cups, right? Remember the gallon man? He has 4 here, and 4 on his toes. So that's 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 16. So I can take it the shortcut route and go 1 gallon is 16 cups. Now, if I want to do it in parts, I can go from cups to quarts to pints to cups. But is that necessary? No. When we can just...
Why do you put 1 quart over 4 cups?
That works too. And then go to gallons. It's still going to get you 16 because look at the bottom. It becomes 4 times 4, which is 16. All right. So I'm at my I'm done. All right. So now I'm on from minutes to days. How can I go from minutes to days?
Minutes to hours.
Okay. So from minutes to hours is
1 minute equals.
okay. So that's gone. And then there you go. 24 hours is going to become
1 minute.
1 day. And last step is to multiply straight across.
What if you have like 5 steps?
That's fine. You can do it as how many ever steps you want to break it down to. Okay, so I'm going to do 16 times 24, and I get what? I got 384. Oh, I don't know where I got 16. 60 times 24. And then I'm going to do 10 times 16. And then I'm going to divide. And I get 9. So by the end of the day, how much water will this? 9 gallons. That is a lot of water wasted. That is exactly. That's 9 milk jugs that they have just wasted. $9 gallons per day.
I ain't even get that. You didn't?
I got this one.
Hold on.
Okay.
Can you do the quartz?
Huh?
Can you do the weight? Quartz weight?
Do it with quarts. If I do it with quarts, what changes is this part right here. This becomes 1 quart
Over
4 cups
do not put 1 gallon
times 4 quarts
on 1 gallon.
over 1 gallon.
Then I put 60 minutes over 1 hour.
And then 24 hours over.
1 day. I got
So
2.4.
No, it still should come out to be the same. Because it's still 60 times 24 is still 1,440. And 10 times 4 is 40. 40 times 4 is 160. So your any numbers are going to be the same.
This calculator tripping.
So it's still going to, if you type in the calculator 1,440 divided by 160. Alright, now I want y'all to do 4. I'm going to get you set up on it. I'm not going to give you very much time. I want to see how.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Is it 18 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. Your ending result is going to be gigabytes per. Okay. Go ahead.
Why am I getting a fraction? What do I, if I get fraction, press control.
Hit control, enter. Alright, here you go. So I'm going to go from kilobytes to megabytes. And then megabytes to gigabytes. So it's going to become 1 megabyte, 1024 kilobytes. My kilobytes are going to, I don't want megabytes, I want what? Gigabytes. So 1 gigabyte is 1024 megabytes. Megabytes cancel out. Am I in the units I want?
Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm going to do my denominator. So I need to go from seconds to days. So I'm going to go from seconds to hour. Hour to days. Make sure everything cancels out except what I needed. Seconds are gone, hours are gone, and I'm left with days. All it comes down to is me multiplying straight across and dividing, and you should get 4 7/100 of a gigabyte per day.
I know what to do, but I just don't know how to say it, girl. Cause I did the first step right. For the second step, I did 1,024 over 1 gigabyte. I did it backwards.
Okay? You gotta remember, what you're trying to cancel out needs to be in its opposite location.
That's what I did. Put 890 gigabytes. It was gigabytes. I put
Okay? Alright, let's see if we can at least start this one. So this is where we're really going into. We're going to, pooey. Okay, we will finish this tomorrow.